Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ITGK Survives ARK tutorial series, and today we will be continuing our beginner's tutorial on how to survive the beach. Specifically this time, since we have a base set up and built for us right here, I will be showing you how to tame creatures, and we will be continuing to survive on the beach as best we can. How we doing in here? Looks like we've got a good amount of meat. So there we go. So it's important for you as you survive on the Ark to make sure that you are going and taming creatures to help you survive to the best of your ability. So the first way that you're going to tame things is by just knocking them out. So let me pull up my engrams list. Please tell me, yes, I do have engram points. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to get is the slingshot here. We'll go ahead and make one of those. Weapons, primitive, ranged, slingshot. And it looks like we need some wood. We have wood in here. We need to go get some. We've got some wood in here. Well, let's make ourselves a slingshot. And this weapon uses stone as ammunition. So we've got the slingshot. We'll keep some on us in case we need to repair it. But we are just going to fire stones at things in order to knock them out. Now, this is really only going to work on some of the smallest and most basic creatures. I could do it with an otter, but you can't tame them when they're knocked out. A lot of creatures, they are KO tames. So, and this is a trilobite. You can't tame these. At least you're not going to want to right now. So just harvest it for materials. And a weird thing about trilobites, I don't know if it's this way for everyone. It is for me. If you have trouble hacking them up to harvest them, try this. Try hacking where they died instead of where their body ended up. That might help. So let's see. Here's a dodo. That'll work. All right, so the higher the level, the better the dinosaur, but the harder it is to knock out and the longer it's going to take to tame. So this is level 15. It's easy knockout. Thunk. Just like that, you just hold the left click, you pull it back, you let out one stone. There we have a dodo, unconscious. This is an herbivore, so what you're going to want to feed it is these mejo berries here. And it will eat from the mejo berries. And as it sits here unconscious, its torpidity rating is slowly draining. That's done now. If its torpidity had dropped to 0, then it would have woken up. And you would have lost all your taming progress. So if it's going to take longer for it to tame than it's going to take for it to wake up, you're going to want to make sure that you feed it either narco berries or narcotics to keep it unconscious. So we'll take our dodo back to base. So the thing about dodos is you need one male, but you need several females for them to be worth anything. Because the best thing about dodos is their eggs. They're very nutritious, and they're useful in some basic recipes. I'm going to see if I can knock out this Dilophosaur, and I'll show you how to tame carnivores. Level 20. Okay. So it is unconscious. Now, the thing about knockout taming with blunt objects like that, using your fists, using a wooden club, which is better than your fists, it provides more torpidity, or using a slingshot. The thing about that is it does a lot of health damage. So yeah, you're gonna knock them out, but if they don't have enough health, they're just going to, you know, it's just going to be a problem. So, in order to tame carnivores, you need meat. Let me see if I can kill something for meat. We should... So, in case you forget where it's at, press I to bring up your inventory. Come over here to tracking. You're going to click this filter type, go to Tames in Progress, and here's our Dillo we just knocked out. So we're going to pin that. And that purple bar is how unconscious it is. It will slowly drain counterclockwise. So... Please don't be high level. 15. Okay. Because if this was high level, I'd want to tame it later. Honestly, we need more meat. Okay, we'll hope that's enough. So let's go back and tame up our Dilophosaur. If you're looking at a creature like this, you can tap E to open its inventory, or you can tap F to open its inventory. You just put raw meat in there, and it will tame up, just like that. Hold R to dismiss the track, and now we have ourselves a Dilophosaur. So that's how you tame herbivores and carnivores. Now, like I said before, these creatures become more powerful when they have another of the same creature that's also the opposite gender. There are other things you can do to boost their power, but that's the easiest way to get started. So your first tames on the beach are probably going to be dodos for a source of eggs, and Dilophosaurs so that you have things to help you fight back against some of the creatures on the beach. Ideally, they would be higher level, but on the island specifically, which is the map that we started on, things have a tendency to be pretty low level, like almost exclusively. So we'll just walk this thing back to our base. Oh, there's a Spino in the water over there. So that's the most dangerous thing that you will see on the beach. Honestly, if you see one, do not engage. Don't even get close. Just avoid it. It's pretty much the only thing you can do at this point. So in terms of weaponry for knocking things out, like I said, Slingshot is kind of what you start with. You can also use the wooden club. The wooden club will work for knocking out creatures as if it was a fist. Most of the time, I would say it's probably better to use the slingshot. The difference being the materials cost, as the slingshot requires hide. If you're on Scorched Earth or a map that has collectible sand, you can craft a boomerang. The island, although we're standing on a beach, there is no sand on the island for you to collect. So, yeah, you can learn the boomerang engram, but it's not going to do you any good. Instead, we're going to move on to the next thing, which is a bow and arrow. So, we've got our bow and arrow, and this is going to help us hunt and kill bigger creatures. What level are we now? 13. So let's find a way to make ourselves a wooden shield. First, let's get that bow. We're going to need some more fiber. So when you're collecting fiber for your bow, you're going to want a lot of fiber because you're going to need fiber to make the arrows too. It seems as though our Dilophosaur has become stuck in the wall. Highly intelligent creature it is. So, can we craft... Yes. So, we're now making the bow. We'll go to ammo. And we want to make stone arrows. So I like to make, the first batch of arrows that I'm making, I like to make 100. It's a nice round number. You just track it. We're going to need 100 flint, 200 thatch, and 200 fiber. So we're just going to pick bushes until we have 200 fiber. We got some trees here. We'll get some thatch. Okay, there's our 200. Okay, there's that. We just need the flint left. We can ditch the stone for some extra weight points so we can keep moving. Okay, so you remember what I said last episode about things getting so cold it would be dangerous to be out? This is what I was talking about. Technically, you know, we'll be fine for a while, but technically it has gotten cold enough now. We're going to be losing food super quickly, and we'll actually be very slowly losing health. I hit H, track our stats there in the corner, numerically, you can see that we are slowly losing health. So it is dangerous to be out when it's this cold. So let's make ourselves 100 stone arrows. And just hover over the arrow and hit A to craft 100 at once. And let's get our bow on the bar. So now we're just going to go back into our home. And we are going to wait for it to pass. Wait for the cold front to pass. When we eat, we'll give ourselves a burst of health and quickly fill our food. And since we're inside the house, we're insulated from the elements. And so we will be protected. I'm going to pick these up and get these on right. I don't know why they're upside down. Well, thankfully, the cold front passed somewhat quickly. So now the beach has warmed back up again. A lot of times, a warm front or a cold front will be followed by rain at the end, but it doesn't always happen. So just kind of look for the temperature to change. If you... I just sped up time until it was over. But if you want to, you know, go out and do something quick and come back in, you'll have a couple of minutes outside where it's perfectly safe to move around. And then you just go back in and warm up for a little bit. And so we're going to want to make ourselves some better insulated armor, but we can't do that until we hit next level, level 15. So let's go back to working on that wooden shield. We're going to use our bow and arrow to hunt things on the beach, and bolas to slow them down. And we are going to go on a little bit of a killing spree with our basic weaponry until we have enough. We probably already have enough hide, don't we? Yeah, we have enough hide, but I should show off how this all works. So we want to make ourselves a wooden shield. But first, the Dilophosaur. So by default, if we come in here, if you hold E, you get this radial menu. Come into behavior, and this is all of the behavior settings on the dino, so you can get it to behave however you want. So sometimes there are extra options, like this one has a turret mode. It'll spit at things that it sees that are potentially threatening. If you enable wandering, if it's not following you, it'll just kind of walk around aimlessly and otherwise ignore its operations. You can enable and disable following manually in here, or there's a whistle for it if you just make you not follow me. If you look at it and hit T, it will follow, and if you hit Y, it will stop following. So I'm going to hit T and make it follow me. And then we're going to want to... You can change it to ignore group whistles because, like the whistles that I just did, there are group versions of the same thing. So get Y to stop following me. If I hit J, it will follow, but so will literally anything in the area. So my dodo inside the house might be following me right now. It hasn't moved yet because I haven't moved. If you hit U, all the creatures in the area that are following you will stop following you. So those are, you can change creatures to individually ignore those settings. Only target conscious prevents a creature like this that'll be used for attack. If you're potentially going to be knocking something out, or you want to harvest something from a creature while it's still alive, you can tell this thing, hey, don't kill it once we knock it out. So you can do that. If you have tames that knock something out, pachycephalosaurs? Pachyrhinos, I think, are the ones that will knock out. What is with the otters? Holy cow. Oh, there's a baby here. But seriously, there's never this many otters around. I needed an otter in my main playthrough, and I couldn't find one. And now there's just like 5 otters on the beach. This is your targeting range. When it decides who it's going to attack, how far is the maximum range it will attack. This is its follow distance. So how far away from you it will allow itself to get while still trying to follow you. And this is its battle stance. So passive flee means when combat starts, it will try to run away from the fight. This is good for important tames that don't have good combat capabilities. Neutral means it won't attack anything unless unless you get hit. But since it's on neutral right now, that thing hit me, and so now it's mad at what attacked me. Neutral's pretty good for something like this that's going to be following you around. And it won't automatically eat the corpse quite often. So hack this up. And we're not going to use this polymer before it spoils, so I'm just going to dump it. If you eat organic polymer, you will die. So don't do that. It's technically consumable. You will die. All right. And the last stances, where were we? Attack your target. So again, kind of attack your target, because neutral works if the creature itself is attacked as well. Attack your target only works if something attacks me or if I attack something. Passive means it will not engage in combat. It will just continue to follow you around, and it won't run. It'll just basically act like there is no combat happening. And aggressive means it will go and seek out fights with literally anything. So be careful about assigning aggressive to a creature. All right, so we're just going to leave you on neutral. And you're going to help me kill stuff. We'll start with the otters. Nice. That time it did eat the corpse. I don't know what triggers the corpse eating versus no corpse eating. Now this otter, I missed. Okay. So, all you do to fire the bow, I should have said this before I did that last little stretch. You just hold the left click, just like the slingshot. You hold the left click and it draws back. And then you let go and it flies. And it has a much faster projectile speed than the Slingshot's rocks. So you don't have to aim up as high. But basically, this is how you're going to hunt things on the beach. The other thing you can do is use the bola that we talked about in the last video. And then switch to your bow and arrow, which is one of your better ways of attacking something. You see how much damage that does? Just like that. You walk up and grab whatever arrows are left out of the creature. Some of them break on impact, but you can get a couple back. You just hack this thing up. I want you on neutral. So that I hit minus, which is just to the right of the 0 key. That should put it on neutral. So let's get some more fiber so that we can make ourselves that shield. Armor, shield, wooden shield. Or ditch the pelt. It's just heavy and we don't need it for anything right now. We'll put this in our offhand slot. And now we can work on getting ourselves some proper armor. We want hide armor. And you're going to be using hide armor for a while. So hide armor, literally every single piece, just 2 ingredients. It's just fiber and hide. Let's start with a shirt. Now, important difference between hide and cloth. You don't want to necessarily just get rid of your cloth, because the beach doesn't just get cold, it also gets hot. And hide does not protect you from the heat. Look at its stats. Cold resist 20 versus cold resist 8. So it's more than twice as good at resisting the cold. But heat resist -5, heat resist 15. So the cloth is going to help you early game when you're in a hot area, and the hide is going to help you when you're in a cold area. If it's a choice between either or, you always wear the hide because it has double the armor rating of the cloth. There we go. We are wearing hide tunic. Just like that. So we've got a bunch of hide. Mostly, we just need more fiber to make the other pieces of armor. So let's just get some more fiber. And picking bushes by hand is basically the only thing you can do to get fiber this early in the game. You're going to need a lot of fiber for a lot of different things, and so you're going to be picking a lot of bushes. Okay, so let's get some pants, gloves. We're just going to continue splitting meat and getting plenty of spoiled meat. It looks like we're going to need some more fiber. Or more hide, I mean. So let's need thatch and stone. Still following me? You are still following me. Why are you still following me? Didn't I tell you to stop? You're so stupid. Come on. Another thing that we're coming across pretty frequently now is that as you get close to your weight limit, you can't sprint anymore. And you'll start to move slower and slower once that starts to happen. Okay, so let's make ourselves a bola, because it is now important semicolon to go passive. I do not want that parasaur. I don't want the parasaur to be attacked by my Dilophosaurus. Okay. That's a level 25 parasaur. You will do. We're going to make one bola. We're going to go find a rock and get some more stones. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to bola this thing. Turn your head. Come on. Just going to pelt it in the face with rocks. Put this away. We might end up killing it, but that's okay. Nope, it is alive. Okay. We're just going to drop the medjool berries in there. And we're going to want to watch this thing as it tames. Because if it starts to get close to waking up as its torpidity lowers, then we're going to want to throw narco berries in. Because if I just throw a couple in here and just feed them to him by pushing E, you'll see that its torpidity actually goes back up. So you use narco berries to raise its torpidity to keep it from waking up. But otherwise, it's just going to eat medjool berries slowly over time until it wakes up. This thing is not going to need any narco berries to keep it from waking up. Okay, so we now have a parasaur. Come here. So we want you to be passive. And he is just going to hold stuff for us because he has 500 weight stat. So he can just hold a whole bunch of stuff. And now we want to start working on expanding our base, specifically upgrading our base to wood. Because it is important that we, first of all, thatch can be destroyed by pretty much any creature. So we're not super safe in thatch. We would prefer to have something a little bit sturdier in case there's something like a Triceratops that gets upset or something like that. But in order to do that, we're going to need materials to build a wooden structure. And we don't know the engrams yet either. So we're going to harvest some thatch. We're going to harvest some wood. And we're just going to harvest up until we're close to full on thatch. Probably pretty close on thatch. So we'll just go ahead and throw the thatch in there. Now we're going to want some wood. And wood's heavier. It's going to fill us up a lot faster. We're just going to level Percival's weight so that he can carry even more for us. For us, we're not done leveling our weight yet. We're up to 200 now. That's pretty good. And we want to start upgrading our house. And what we're trying to do is get ourselves up to level 21 for this here. This is a tranquilizer arrow. This is incredibly important. Now, there's some other stuff up here we're going to want to. Refining forge, smithy, metal pick, metal hatchet. These are going to be vital for what will probably be the third and final piece of the beginner's tutorial. Once we get through, getting yourself your metal tools and doing all of that, and you'll start making your way into stone structures and stuff like that. You'll basically be ready to go on the survival front. You can just start playing ARK, and mostly you'll be able to piece it out from there. I will continue to make tutorials. Don't worry about that. All right, so we are trying to grind ourselves up to level 21 and at the same time improve the safety of our base. So let's start making these wood foundations, walls, doorways, and window frame. Let's... And you see, this costs a lot of wood. It takes 80 wood per foundation. But look at how much experience we get. Like 40 experience. All right, let's start heading back home. We're going to want some more hide, too. We don't need this pelt. We will take the hide from you. And we want you to do more damage. So just like you, as your creatures fight stuff, hang out with you, and you fight stuff, just over time, whatever, they will slowly earn levels. So you're going to want to pump stats into them, too. Pretty simple. There is a point where you're not going to want to pump stats into stuff, but that's later when we get into breeding. We're a long ways away from that right now. Percival? I don't know where he's going. So now we're going to pick our wood foundation, and we're just going to push right over top of what we've already built. You can see it poking through. And it's going to destroy what was already there and give us some materials back. So here's wood, much more sturdy than thatch. And we are also going to want to create a mortar and pestle. We've got the hide for it. How much stone do you have on you? 15. So let's hack up some stones. We'll make ourselves a mortar and pestle. And it's time that we get started making those narcotics. Early in the game, narcotics give you a pretty decent amount of experience for crafting them as well. I'm going to hold Q to disable snapping. I'm just going to put this all the way in the corner. And you can see it allows us to craft spark powder, or if we come in here, we can craft narcotics. So we're going to want to put all of our spoiled meat in here. The spoiled meat, you do. And Percival, spoiled meat. And the narco berries. We'll wait for you. We come over here. Spoiled meat, narco berries. 16 narcotics, just like that. And these are going to do a much better job of keeping things unconscious than just feeding them narco berries. And again, as you can see, we're getting a pretty good amount of XP for each one that we craft. We're up to level 18 now. We can get a raptor saddle, feeding trough, preserving bin. But we need the rest of our wooden structures. Get the ceiling and the door. That's what we'll get for now. How many more foundations do we need? 5. 5 more foundations. So, scrap that. Okay. Now, time to show you something else that's handy. Take this engram wood foundation, drag it down here. Now, if I push 3, boom. I don't have to open my inventory each time I've got one ready to go. I can just come out here and keep hacking up trees. When I have enough to make a foundation, I push 3. I've made 1. Two, 4, and we'll get stamina break. And there's our 5th. Then we're going to come in here and we're going to replace our engram with our actual foundations. Stop tracking that. Right. If you have something out like this and say, oh, I need to open the door, you can't. But if you hit right click, it will dismiss whatever's building. You can hit E to open the door. Okay. Now we pull this back up again. Nice. The floor is now completely wood. We're about to get another level up here. Now, each side of our building has 3 walls. So, times 4 sides is 12. Minus 1 for the one we've already replaced is 11. So, we need 11 wood walls. Okay, so there are a couple more options here now. Now that we have wood, we basically have all of our potential craftables. With thatch is a little bit simpler. So we still have the short doorway, the wood doorway. Now we have a double doorway, which is even wider on top of being full height. Still the window wall, and then the secret doorway, which you can use like this. There's a fake wall. We don't care about that right now. So, we have still the thatch roof, but now we are completely wood on the walls and the floor. So we are now level 20. We're about to hit level 21. What happened to our door? Did it break the door? It did. I did not know it would do that. Boom. Always out. Okay. It's about to become night, so we're just gonna... I'd rather not film in the dark. There's nothing wrong with the night. There are no nocturnal creatures around, so not really an issue, but I'd just rather not film in the dark. Okay, so there are a couple of other things. Let's craft the one thing before we get to trank arrows. So we need a Parasaur saddle. Crafting, saddles, Parasaur saddle. When we craft this, we can ride our Parasaur. How much hide do you have? None. How much hide do you have? None. Do we have any bolas? No. Okay. We got some of our arrows back. Skin this thing up. Make herself a bola. Weapons, primitive, ranged, bola. And now we're going to hit this moss chops. All right, moss chops is down. There's that. So now let's get a little bit more fiber, as we always do. And a little bit more wood. These are turtles. You don't want to fight them. Not yet. Carbonemus, the turtles, are actually kind of difficult to kill. They move real slow, but they are incredibly tanky. So let's just craft ourselves that Parasaurus saddle. Okay. Then we come over here, access the inventory. If we just push E on the saddle, it will apply it. Alternatively, we can just drag it in. And if it's in the creature's inventory and we push E, it will apply it there too. But now we can simply look at Percival, push E, and we ride. And if we hold left Alt, which is right next to the spacebar, we'll activate camera mode. And I like to zoom it all the way out and then hold it again to deactivate camera mode. There we go. Here is our Parasaur. And this thing, it won't get fiber, but it does a great job getting berries from bushes. So anytime we need to tame another dodo or another parasaur, or maybe we go trike taming or something, we'll have all the berries that we need now. Plus, it's a great way to get narco berries for creating narcotics. But there's one last thing we need to talk about when it comes to taming, and we just unlocked it. Or we're done. Come down to level... Well, get rid of that. If we come down to level 21, Trank Arrow. Here at Trank Arrow, we go to crafting, weapons, ammo, and now we can craft Trank Arrows. It takes 1 arrow and 1 narcotic. Let's go and get other narco berries from our Parasaur. See, he got a bunch. Come in here. Dump the narco berries in here. Push A, make 24 more. So now let's make ourselves 20 trank arrows. Weapons, ammo, 20 trank arrows. We're going to pull out our bow, and if we hold... Okay, I'll apply the level up, but we're not getting any more engrams today. So if we hold R, we can now change which type of ammo that we want in the bow. Or we can come in here and drag the ammo that we want in. Note the number on the left side of the bow. If you see the 1, that means that the weapon is primed and ready to go. Even if you get rid of all of your ammo in your inventory, the weapon will still be primed with 1 shot. So keep that in mind. Okay. So now we can... I suppose I should craft another bola. Weapons, primitive, ranged, bola. Need a little bit more fiber and a little bit of stone. So for the time being, once you hit this point, this is essentially how you're going to tame nearly everything. You have a bola. You're looking for creatures that are bola-able. And then you're going to hit them with trank arrows. There you go. Okay, so that is a Pegomastix. It will attempt to steal stuff from your inventory. You want to be careful with it. They look like hairy rats. There's not a whole lot that spawns on the beach. You've pretty much seen everything. Other than, what, maybe compies, I think? And compies are just like little tiny carnivores. At this point, you're not going to tame them because they take prime meat to tame. You might not tame one right now, but... So we're just going to bola this thing. We'll pull out our trank arrows. And these still do damage when you hit, but they do far more torpor than just striking with a blunt object. And they continue to do torpor over time instead of just the little burst of torpor. So now we're going to... We want Percival to get some berries for this thing. So we're going to go and head over to where Percival's at. Okay, we want some Mejo berries. And we're going to take 100 Azel berries for ourselves, because if you are completely starving, eating 100 of a type of berry will take you all the way back up to full. It takes longer than meat, but we're splitting our meat so that we can make more and more narcotics. Because taming stuff is very important right now. We're going to take our Mejo berries back over to the dino that we just knocked out. Go back to the tracking tab. Tame's in progress. We've got this female parasaur here. We are going to head over there. Oh, I should also grab a narcotic. I don't think we'll need it. I'm pretty sure it will tame without narcotics, but we should grab a narcotic so I can show you how much more effective it is than narco berries. So first we're going to stick in our narcotic and push E. It'll consume the narcotic, and its torpor will go up. Now it's going back down again. And we're going to feed it our Mejo berries. Okay, we have ourselves a parasaur. We're going to head around this way so that we don't bother those piranhas. There is one other thing that you can do with these. If you go to alert settings and enable turret mode, it will show you potentially dangerous creatures in the area. Or it will show you enemy tribe mates as well. We're going to disable turret mode for now. Come on. And so there we have it. The only thing we don't have is dodos. But we're not exactly working on cooking yet, so I suppose I can show you what dodos are useful for in the next episode. But that's going to do it for this episode of ITGK Survives ARK Tutorials. Found this helpful? Please leave a like. Helps out the channel a lot, especially as small as it is. If you got something to say, please leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified when future episodes of this and my other series go up. I'm In The Game Kaya. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.